Acids they start with hydrogen pretty much every time. There are 3 exceptions, which I will go over, and we end them in the word acid. So whenever we have an acid, we'll have one word, and then the second word will be acid, and it will always start with a hydrogen. You're going to basically do ion naming like normal, and then you're going to add a step based on the anions ending. So based on the anions ending, you're going to add a step. You're going to copy this table to your table right now. So acids are very, very similar to ions. You do them all the same way. It always starts with hydrogen, which means you never have to simplify. You never have to use Roman numerals, but you do have to change it so that it has a proper name to it. And that's completely based on whether it's ide, ite, or ate. Ide, ite, or ate. Making the formula is the same deal we've been doing. There's really nothing different about that. So if I'm making the formula, none of these cancel. So it's going to crisscross, and that's not going to do anything. And this is going to crisscross down. I'm going to crisscross, not do anything. It's going to crisscross down, crisscross down, crisscross, and not do anything. All right, so this formula is going to be H2S, H2SO3, H2SO4. Now, if we name these using the ionic naming, then this first one is hydrogen sulfide. Notice ide. The next one is going to be hydrogen sulfite. And the last one is going to be hydrogen sulfate. All right. By converting them to their proper acid name. So hydrogen sulfide, ide turns into hydro, and then there's going to be your, whatever your root is. In this case, it's sulfuric acid. And that's because this is an ide. Because this is an ide, that gives us the hydroic. All right. Now, if I have an ite, it changes to something different. Let's see, grab a different pen color. Ite changed to sulfurous acid. So the ite gives us the us acid. And last but not least, we have the sulfate, and this is going to give us sulfuric acid, with the ic coming from the ate. So this is just kind of like a quick crash course in acids. Now the nice thing is there's only like 48 or so acids that we wind up using. So, eventually you may just wind up memorizing these things. But I do want to point out before I go on that there was, I told you there were 3 exceptions. There are 3 things that start with hydrogen that are not acid. So remember, acids start with hydrogen. Well, there are 3 exceptions: H2, H2O, and H2O2. These are not acids. Everything else that starts with hydrogen is an acid, but not these 3 things. The H2 is hydrogen gas, which is molecular covalent. So let's blue for that. So H is just hydrogen. and it is, my MC, it is molecular covalent. H2O, let's face it, it's water. Like, you can call it dihydrogen monoxide all you want, but you can also call it water. I'll totally accept that. And that is also molecular covalent. But when you get to H2O2, what you're dealing with is you're dealing with something called hydrogen peroxide, which you can use as a first aid thing. Dries out the wounds and kills everything around it. And this is an ion. So there you go. It's not an acid, though. So I just wanted you to realize that these are the three things that are not acids.